Thank you. That was quick. I thought I had more time. Be concerned about giving a public speech, which I don't like to do. Anyway, Bise, that's hello in Mende. Mende is the local language. And we learned 3 words. Bise, Kayogama, and Baika, or Baikakaka, if you're really enthusiastically saying thank you. So we had an interesting trip. Sierra Leone was not a bucket list trip for me. In fact, it didn't even make the top 1,000 on my bucket list. I first heard of the possibility of going to Sierra Leone from Arn Cook. He said, "Hey Lundy, I'm thinking about the OVP trip," and I said, "Really?" And I thought, that'll pass. And he said, "Are you interested?" I said, politely, I said, "Sure, Arn." That would end that. That was kind of the end of that. And then I received the call from the man, from Jeff Hall. And he politely suggested that I join the trip. And that's when I knew this whole thing was serious and I was in trouble, and that I should take a look at my bucket list again. It wasn't on there. And so I called Jeff back and I said that I was going to pass because I was concerned about my personal safety. So I said, "Isn't that where there was Ebola and a bad civil war?" And Jeff's response was, "Seriously, Lundy? Ebola's been over for several years, and I'm bringing my 17-year-old daughter with me." So I said, "I'm in." So here begins my journey. I had no clue where Sierra Leone was. It's on the west side of Africa, about at the equator. And it is hot, I can tell you that, and humid, like we had last week here. Kind of get used to it. By some measures, the poorest country in the world. Life expectancy of 45 years. 20% of children die by the time they reach age 5. Ravaged by a war from 1991 to 2001. And Ebola. We saw the remnants of Ebola throughout the country. I actually tried to watch Blood Diamonds, the movie, before I left, and got through 15 minutes and cut off the guy's hand, and I was like, "That's it, I'm not going to Sierra Leone." So it took us 22 hours to get to a place that I didn't want to go to. And but Arn worked with me on meditation and such things, and yoga. We did. I got to our hotel in Freetown, and I said, "I want to go do some yoga on the tennis court," because there's no way I was going to go for a run through that town. And so we went down there, and I wish I had those pictures of you, Arn, doing yoga on the tennis court. But I'll tell you, when we landed, we went down to catch a water shuttle, and we went down to the beach. And Costa Rica, something like that. It was beautiful. And I was kind of blown away how beautiful it was. And 45 minutes later, we took the boat over to Freetown. And I was like, this is a really bad neighborhood, something like that. And poverty like I'd never seen. And after Freetown, we drove 8 hours east into the Calhoun district of Sierra Leone, which is on the eastern side. And the poor town or the poor villages that I mentioned kept getting bigger and bigger. Part paved, part dirt road, potholes like you've never seen swallow your car. Never complain about the France Avenue potholes. And our group of 13 was broken up into 3 villages, and I went to a village called Bika. I was with Jeff Hall, and his daughter and a friend of hers. Jeff and me, that's our little hut behind, and I think we got a picture of our spa right there. That's where we took our baths that night. Actually felt amazingly good. Over the next few days, I discovered 2 important things. Number one, amazing villages and villagers living in extreme poverty, and the remarkable impact of OBP's vision and its amazing staff. Number one, in the villages, I found people living in extreme poverty on less than $2 per day. These villages were burned to the ground during the war, and during the war, thousands of people were murdered, and those who survived lived in refugee camps or the rainforest for up to 10 years. This is a picture of a school in the Imbika that was left standing. However, the rebels came in and they burned it. They burned everything down to the ground that they could. I also found people who suffer from disease and death from the simplest things like lack of clean water and sanitation. Their food comes from family farms in the forest. This is a farm out in the middle of the forest. It's pretty rugged. No John Deere tractors. Family. They cherish family. And this is Mac. He took care of Jeff and me and Isabel and Katie. And he was one of the community action leaders. He was pretty awesome. Healthy families. They want healthy families as well. There's less than 200 doctors in the entire country of 6 million. So basically no health care. And education. They want education for their kids. They want clean sanitation. They want reliable, safe food sources and clean water. And they're similar to us. They just have to work so much harder, endure so much more. It's still hard for me to comprehend their happiness. More smiles and friendly greetings than any place I've ever been in the United States, including Disney World. I also found in the villages incredibly loving people. This is Mac walking with his child. They're all about family. Beautiful children. These are just some really amazingly cute kids that were just so excited to see us. And I got a couple more photos of the kids. They were just adorable, just amazing. And work ethic beyond compare. These are women working in the field. Next picture is a woman who's collecting palm oil, and the next one is just this woman who's amazing. She's got a child on her back. She's got her whatever tools she's using, and she's got all of her vegetables on her head, and she's walking with her kids. Religious tolerance, which was amazing too. We were right next to literally right next to a church and a mosque. They were built right next to each other. And they say each other's prayers, which is pretty cool. And the immense generosity of these people. These people are amazing. We had a car problem on the way up. Car stopped, military bus stopped, they all jumped out. This guy ran a mile up the road, got a new cable, ran back down, put it in our car, and we were off. Women cleaning our stoop in the morning, bringing us bread, bringing us water. And we went to one Britta, can you turn the sound up, by chance? Anybody do that? Maybe. This is pretty amazing. We went. We were just stopping by this village, and 1,000 people showed up, and they did this dance. They brought out their devils, which is, I guess, pretty unique. And then they did a parade, and they brought us down to their new bridge that they were rebuilding, which you'll see on the next slide, which is pretty remarkable. So, and they were very, just amazing people. Safety was no longer a concern. Number two, I also found an organization that makes a huge difference, One Village Partners. We spent our days with the OVP staff, completely off the charts people, smart, dedicated, hardworking. Where are you? There you are, right there. John and Sophie, as you know, they lead OVP in Sierra Leone. They haven't been back here for 15 months, so it's great having them here. I was just beyond by their hard work, creativity, and love by the villagers. In 2016, 14,000 people are being touched by OVP, and the goal is 50,000 by 2020. Almost done. I also had the opportunity to see firsthand the projects that are so important. The latrines. So rather than going in the forest and doing your thing, you now use latrines. They're outhouses. And there have been over 300 of them built throughout these villages. It's amazing. It cost $75, by the way. This is they put up a kind of a plaque memorial to the latrine project, which is really cool. And OVP is assisting villages in constructing kitchens. That's another spot where a lot of diseases spread with chickens and goats and flies and all kinds of stuff. There's a kitchen. It's been around a long time. These are the new kitchens. They're pretty amazing. And there's been 119 of those built so far. So finally, OVP has established a program to help women, which is really remarkable. We went and 30 women sat before us. Each of them told their story of OVP and some of the things that the NOW program has meant to them. Saving money, really basically budgeting and finance for the family, which is something that they didn't know anything about. One of the women said, I don't know what budget or expense was. I just spend money if I had it and borrowed it if I didn't have it. Now I know there are needs and wants, and I save money for the needs that we have. Now is working remarkably well. So OVP is just a remarkable trip. In closing, I'd say add OVP to your bucket list if you can, either by donation or join us on a trip or tell somebody about the organization. It's an amazing organization. And it's making an enormous difference. These people have absolutely no advocates whatsoever in their lives. And we're the only people helping these wonderful people. And our assistance is really having an amazing impact. Initially I was afraid to go, but I found it to be incredibly safe and amazing. And I can't wait to go back and see my friends and take my kids with me. My trip to Sierra Leone was life-changing, as Jeff said it would be, and it was. And I want my children to see it and have the opportunity to change the world as well. So I'm hoping to go back the next 3 years with Britta and Michael and Christine. And thank you. So now it's time to meet some of the villagers, and OVP's got a short video for you.